Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Nitai Gora Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora Haribol. Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Jayo Jayo Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. This morning we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 29, verse number 21. Aham sarveshu bhuteshu bhutatma vastita sada tam avagyayamam martya Kurtercha vidambanam Aham sarveshu bhuteshu bhutatma vastita sada tam avagyayamam martya Kurutercha vidambanam Aham sarveshu bhuteshu bhutatma vastita sada tam avagyayamam martya Kurutercha vidambanam. Sarveshu bhuteshu bhutatma vastita sada tamavagyaya mamartya kurutercha vidambanam. Aham sarveshu bhuteshu bhutatma vastita sada tamavagyaya mamartya kurutercha vidam. Ladies. Aham sarveshu bhuteshu bhutatma vastita sada tamavagyaya mamartya kurutercha vidambanam. Aham, I, sarveshu, in all, bhuteshu, living entities, bhuta atma, the super soul in all beings, avastitaha, situated, sada, always, tam, that super soul, avagyaya, disregarding, mam, me, martyaha, a mortal man, kurute, performs, archa, of worship of the deity, vidambanam, imitation. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. I am present in every living entity as the super soul. If someone neglects or disregards that super soul everywhere and engages himself in the worship of the deity in the temple, this is simply imitation. Purport. In purified consciousness or Krishna consciousness, one sees the presence of Krishna everywhere. If therefore one only engages in the deity worship in the temple and does not consider other living entities, then he is in the lowest grade of devotional service. One who worships the deity in the temple and does not show respect to others is a devotee on the material platform, in the lowest stage of devotional service. A devotee should try to understand everything in relationship with Krishna and try to serve everything in that spirit. To serve everything means to engage everything in the service of Krishna. If a person is innocent and does not know his relationship with Krishna, an advanced devotee should try to engage him in the service of Krishna. One who is advanced in Krishna consciousness can engage not only the living being, but everything in the service of Krishna. One more time, we'll read the verse. Translation. I am present in every living entity as the super soul. If someone neglects or disregards that super soul everywhere and engages himself in the worship of the deity in the temple, that is simply imitation. Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshun Militamina Tasma Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yana Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Darati Swapadantika Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, this morning we are reading from the 3rd canto, chapter 29, Explanation of Devotional Service, which is given by Kardama Muni to his mother, Devahuti. And then in this chapter, he's explaining the nature, what is actually pure devotional service. What is pure devotional service? And then also afterwards, he's explaining what happens if this devotional service comes in contact with the modes of material nature. And what does it mean to come in contact with material nature? It means that our consciousness is infected by these modes, and then we practice devotional service. So then he's starting to explain how there are different levels and gradations of Krishna consciousness. And first thing that I would like to say is that we should try to understand that pure devotional service can never be contaminated. It's always pure, regardless of our qualifications. Like for instance, there is a deity, Nrishingadev is right here, so he is always Krishna Bhagavan. But if Uttamadhikari comes, he sees the same deity. If Madhyamadhikari comes, he sees the same deity. If some neophyte devotee comes, he sees the same deity. So what's the difference? The difference is in the effect, what we get out of this darshan, you know? So if our consciousness is polluted by the modes, we will have different effect. The same is with the holy name. Holy name is always pure. There is no difference whether one is a neophyte, whether one is very advanced devotee, like Shuddhanam, Namabhas, and Namaparada. It's all the same name. It doesn't make no difference. But the difference is with what kind of attitude, what kind of consciousness we are chanting the holy name. So similarly, how we approach the deity, we'll get different results. And that's why Kardama Muni, he's explaining there are different grades of devotees, because what kind of consciousness we have. And acharyas, they explain actually, like you have a first-class prasadam. Like yesterday we had nice pizza, everything was very nice, nutritious, you know, it was so nice prasadam. So for a healthy person, he can take this food and he can get lots of energy, you know. He can be very happy, he can be full of energy, he can do his service. But if someone is sick and you give him the same food, he cannot digest it. He will become even sick, he can get little benefit of this food. So similar like this, pure devotional service is everyone, whoever comes in contact with Krishna consciousness is pure devotional service. We are dealing only with Krishna, nothing else. We don't have a power to, you know, compress Krishna and then, you know, it's in our power to make a holy name, Nama Parada or something. No, we are dealing with Krishna, but how we approach him, we have a different effect. And that's why there are these gradations. So when these gunas, whenever it's guna, it means our consciousness. So now he's explaining Kardama Muni in this particular verse, Kanishta Adhikari. And he's saying Kanishta Adhikari is very essential for Kanishta Adhikaris to worship the deity. It's like, it doesn't mean that only neophyte devotees should worship the deities. We can see Bhaktivedanta Thakur, he was worshipping the deities, 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, all of them, they were worshipping the deities. But what is the difference is that Kanishta Adhikari, he cannot make no progress in his spiritual life without deity worship. While advanced devotees, they don't have a problem. For them, it's the same. Like Radhanath Swami, one time, he was saying, devotees, they were asking him, oh, Maharaj, what kind of deity you have? What kind of deity you are worshipping? And Maharaj, he took his japa and he showed his beads and he said, this is my deities. This is what I'm worshipping every day. For advanced devotees, they don't see no difference between the holy name with the deities. They have the same respect. But for us, because we are neophytes, it's very essential that we worship the deities. We can see in the beginning of the movement, you know, when Srila Prabhupada established movement, at the beginning, he only established Harinam Sankirtan. Devotees would go outside all day chanting and just distribute books. But then after some time, it was going on nicely. But when Srila Prabhupada would go away from the temple, they couldn't maintain it. And then next step was in installation of deities all over the centers, all over ISKCON. Because if you have a deities, you can see pujaris, they're always clean, you know? And devotees also who are living in temple. That's the benefit of deity worship. Otherwise, we can become like lazy, you know, for ourselves, you know? We fall in tamaguna. Like devotees who go on Sankirtan in the van, they can see what's the difference when they travel in the van, when they are on the road, and when they come to the temple. It's completely, you are forced to be always clean, take shower and things like this. But if you are outside, you are not so much forced, you know. You can be, but you are protected by doing books and things like this. So therefore, deity worship is very, very essential for our progress, because then we are easily situated in Sattva Guna. Otherwise, like Kapila Dev, he's explaining, Kapila Dev is explaining that you can practice Krishna consciousness in a Tamaguna, you can practice in Rajaguna, or you can practice in Sattvaguna. So with deity worship, neophytes immediately they got a chance to practice immediately from the platform of Sattvaguna. It's so much easier. So that's the benefit of it. And now here, it is explained that neophyte devotee should respect everyone. That's a very important aspect. Why is this important? Because all our spirit, we are doing everything nicely, you know. We are like, from the morning, we are chanting Mangalarati, we are worshipping Tulasi, we are chanting Japa. So we should go very, very quickly. We should have very quick spiritual progress. But somehow or other, it doesn't happen so. And the main reason for this is offenses to devotees. This is the main reason why we are not going so fast. Otherwise, with all this, what Srila Prabhupada gave us, we should go like arrows, you know, very fast. But somehow it's going very slow. And therefore, it's advised, and therefore it is advised that all neophyte devotees, they should pay respects to every living entity. Because at our particular stage, we cannot judge who is on which level of devotion. So the safest, the safest place for us in this situation is to respect everyone. Then you don't make offenses to no one. Because, like it said also, if you have anartha, if you can see anartha in someone else, that means that you have this anartha. Because otherwise you couldn't perceive it. If you see someone is like political or doing something, that means you're political. The persons who are not political, they don't even notice this in this person. So if you have anything, if you can see in other person, that means you have it. So similarly, this is in negative, but similarly, this is in a positive way also. Pure devotion, if you don't have it, how are you going to recognize it? It's not possible. Therefore, it is advised that we offer obeisances to all devotees. So then we are safe. We will not make offenses, and then with our sadhana, we can go very fast. This is the thing. But what makes here neophyte devotee is explained. Neophyte devotee, Kanishta Adhikari is sometimes translated, and sometimes Prakrita Bhakta. Prakrita Bhakta means that a devotee sees devotional service through material energy. That means, means Prakrita. It means raw, untrained devotee, like this. So most of the time we can see Jai, Shishi, Prad Nishingarev Ki. We can see, like for instance, when someone, in our own lives, when we joined Krishna consciousness, we became a devotee. What made us a devotee? Acharyas explain, the only thing that made us devotee is the faith that Krishna has eternal form. This is the only thing why we became devotee. Because otherwise, we just switched our material environment with spiritual environment. We came to temple, we start to associate with devotees, but we retained the same mentality, you know. We don't have still the spiritual qualities. So this switch is made only by this, because we accepted that Krishna has eternal form. Krishna is a person. Now this faith is sentimental. Acharyas explained. It's not, we cannot explain it by Shastra, we cannot explain it, but somehow or other we feel it. And this is good enough to be higher than any yogis, to be higher than any Brahmavadis who are meditating on the, for many thousands of years. Just this simple fact that you accept Krishna as that he has an eternal spiritual form makes you immediately higher than all these yogis. But still, in the classification of devotees, it's the lowest level. It's just beginning level. It's called neophyte devotee, it's called Prakrita. And what it makes Prakrita, it means that we think that we are advanced according to our material skills. That's the thing. We see devotional spiritual life through the eyes of material energy in this way. So for instance, let's say if someone is a good manager, if he can manage really nicely festival or anything, he will think, oh, I'm so advanced because I'm doing such a service. If someone is a good cook, if he can cook nice, then he will think, oh, this is my advancement because I can cook all this nice. If someone is good in singing, someone is good in anything, and he thinks this is my advancement, this is actually what is Prakrita Bhakta. We are thinking that our conditioning is the source and is the level of our advancement. While in reality, this is only the medium through which we can serve Krishna. Devotion means taste for the holy name. Devotion means taste for Krishna Katha. It means sincerity to please Krishna. So if we use this ability to manage, to please devotees and Krishna, this is the sign of devotion. Not just this external, we usually thinking like this, oh, if I'm higher on this level, then it means immediately that I'm advanced. But Acharyas, they're saying, no, this is Prakrita Bhakta consciousness. And even you can see in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna was saying this to Arjuna. He told him, you're a good warrior and everything, but just reject all of these, your good skills. And just first, try to please me, and then accept all these good skills, and then go fight. And then this is pure devotional service. So if we want to go from this neophyte level, then also we should do the same like this. Whatever good qualities, material qualifications we should have it. It's not a problem. But we should know they are not the signs of our devotional service. It can just be a sign that we can serve Krishna in this particular way. But we should never become attached to them. Like for instance, when we see Srila Prabhupada, like all the scholars, if you go to colleges and things like this, they're amazed how Prabhupada was so expert in Sanskrit, how he translated Srimad Bhagavatam, how he presented this Vedic literature. It was never made before. He made books that will be laws for next 10,000 years. He was such expert scholar in Sanskrit. But if you ask, if you think about Srila Prabhupada, do you think of him as a Sanskrit expert, scholar? Someone thinking about Prabhupada like this? No, we don't think about him like this. Prabhupada was also very, very expert in management. He established the whole ISKCON. He established the whole BBT, the whole structure for the next 10,000 years. This is not something easy. Usually the biggest managers in this world, they establish some firm or something like company for 20 years, and then they are very successful. They are praised, they are the best top managers. But Prabhupada established some system that will be for next 10,000 years. But when we think about Prabhupada, do we think about him as the best manager? No, we don't think about him. The same is with cooking. He was such an expert cook. Devotees who tried Prabhupada's halava, they said they never tasted such amazing taste, halava. He cooked so many preparations, like really tasty. No one tasted nothing like this. But at the same time, when we think about Prabhupada, is he a cook? We're thinking, oh, he's cook, the best cook in the world? No. What we think when we think about Srila Prabhupada? Great devotee. Yeah, great devotee. Servant of God. Great devotee. So this is the point that I'm trying to say. These advanced devotees, they have all these lots of material skills, but they never identify with them. They just use them as a medium to serve Krishna with the same mood. Oh, Krishna, I want to please you. Therefore, I will cook the best preparations. I want to please you. I will manage really nice. And this is actually what is devotion. This mood that you start, first this attitude, and then you use these material skills, whatever you have. And if you have this consciousness, immediately we are not anymore Prakrita Bhakta. Immediately you make this switch. It's so simple. So you don't have to wait like 10, 15 years, like sometimes we are thinking, oh, 5, 10 years I have to be Kanishta, I have to chant, and then I get purified, and then I will come to the level of Madhyam. No. You can be Madhyam right now from the beginning. Just if you start making this switch, whatever you do, it can be a simple, it can be a seva of cleaning the floor. Oh, Krishna, I want to please you right now, so I will do this seva. And immediately you are on a higher platform, and you are doing pure devotional service. So this is advantage of association of advanced devotees. It's explained here that it's very difficult to be on this level for us, for neophyte devotees. But if you are in association of advanced devotees, then you can imbibe this mood. Also, it doesn't mean always be like physically close, because just by associating with Srimad Bhagavatam, we are associating with Shukadev, Goswami, with so many devotees. There are stories inside, with so many acharyas who are translating this. We are associating with Srila Prabhupada, with his intimate thoughts, with his intimate, he's revealing his heart. This is actually association with devotees. You can be with someone very closely, but just proximity, like physical proximity. But association means that someone reveals your mind. Like we are saying, you should not take association of karmis, of materialistic persons. So what it means? That we don't reveal our heart to them. This is mean association. So in the same way, if you read purports of Srila Prabhupada is revealing his heart to us. So this means this is real association. He doesn't have to be present in front of us and then, oh, we have his association. So just by reading these purports, we are associating with advanced devotees, and then we can make this switch very easily. It's a process, it takes time, but we can do it. And then also it is said here that worship, one thing that I wanted to mention is like many times when we can see in the literature when it's explained that neophytes, they are worshipping the deities, always it's connected, because you have to understand, Parikshit Maharaj is listening from Shukadev Goswami, and they are living in an environment of Vedic culture. This is sattvic culture, they are respecting priests. Actually, priests and pujaris, they are on the highest level of appreciation. They are the most prestigious level. That's why it's always saying that even a pujari, he can be a neophyte devotee, because he identifies with this situation. Nowadays, in our ISKCON, it's not so much developed that brahmanas are so respected. They're thinking, oh, this guy, he didn't make it in life, so he will worship the deity until he leaves his body. But in reality, this is the highest, prestigious situation. For us, it's more prestigious to be like a manager, of authority, in some, something like this, because we are coming from these backgrounds. So whenever it's written like this, we should see what is actually our situation, because this is the point that they are identifying with this, what they can do. This pujari, he has material skills to worship the deities, and although he has the best situation, and he's thinking he's the best devotee, but actually he's not. Socially, he's the most highest position of all, but in reality, Krishna is saying, Acharyas is saying, no, the priests are not the highest if they don't have this consciousness. So in the same way, we can adjust this. Whatever is our service, whatever is whatever we do, we should not identify with this service and thinking, this is the sign of my advancement. And then just switch to this, whatever we are doing, I want to please Krishna, and then immediately we are not anymore on this neophyte level. So I will stop here. If someone has some questions or some comments or anything like this, you can be free to ask or to share with us your realizations, something like this. Yes, Mataji.
Many years back, because you said that the deity is the same, but the person who sees it may be on different levels. So many years back, just right here, there was a man with his small son, and they had just came here. They were guests. They had not been here before. And then the man says to his son, he was maybe 6 or 7, he says to him, oh, so he's not so big. And then the son says to the father, when he stands, he is. So I was so touched by this, because the son really saw Lord Nrsingadev as a person. Because he had this pure vision. If he wants to stand, he can stand. So
Thank you. It was very sweet. Thank you. Yes?
Can I ask if devotee, for example, doesn't have any material skills, is it possible, or devotee always very talented? And
Krishna is talent. So Krishna gives talent to everyone. You can find talent in anything, Just everyone has some talent, because there is some particular quality of Krishna that Krishna empowered us. So you just have to see what it is. And usually this spiritual master, he will see what is your qualifications, and then he will push you in this direction, if we cannot determine what we should do. So like this. So each and every devotee has particular talent. Each and every animal has some talent, that we don't have even, Like dogs, they can hear much higher than we can hear. So this is a special talent. So every living entity has something unique, to them. So we just have to see what it is and offer to Krishna, and then that it will make our lives perfect. Like this.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji.
Regarding the same topic, like I sometimes wonder, like, if these talents, or you called it conditioning, is
Can you? I didn't catch.
if these talents,
Ah.
or what you called it also, like conditioning, like qualification, being whatever, a manager,
Yeah.
kirtaniya, and so on, if they are related to our spiritual identity. Because, like, assume I really love to sing, but I sing very ugly, like a goat or something, and I aspire to sing nicely. So next lifetime maybe I will be a better singer, and the one afterwards I'll be a very good singer. So, but doesn't seem related to the spiritual identity. These talents that we develop lifetime after lifetime.
Yeah.
So do you know how is our spiritual identity reflecting in here in our conditioning somehow, or not necessarily?
So basically, I can answer this question a little bit more broader, so we do understand it. So, Prabhupada, you can see many times, he said, karmis, they don't have no good quality. One good quality, karmis, they don't have. So many times we are set back by this statement. How is this possible, And many times we join Krishna consciousness, and devotees, sometimes they are rough and things like this, and then we are shocked. Oh, my friends, they were so much better treating, than even devotees. So how is this possible? And Srila Prabhupada is saying they don't have no good qualities. Only devotees have good qualities. So what it means actually? So it means that as conditioned soul, when it's in this material world, you see, according to your work, you get some talents, you get some material qualifications from the three modes of material nature. So these talents, they are not eternal. They are like only for this life. Like for instance, if a boy wants to wants to go for a date, and then he wants to impress the girl, and then he rents some fancy Ferrari, something, and comes and picks her up. So would you really say, oh, this is his car? Does it belong to him? It doesn't belong to him. It's just like temporary, to show off, because he had money, he had some qualification, he could get this car. So similarly, in the material world, we as souls, as we are changing all these lifetimes, we do some particular activities, and then the gunas, according to our desire and qualification, they give us these talents. So some people, they are very good, expert in singing. Some people, they are very smart, they have big intelligence, like scientists, you see. But because they misuse this intelligence, next life they will be very stupid actually, Immediately it will switch. So these are not qualifications of the soul. These are qualifications of the body and their karma. But for devotees, it's completely opposite. Whenever we come to Krishna consciousness, we start to practice spiritual life. And then the soul becomes to awake slowly. And soul has all these amazing qualities. There are just, these material qualities are just reflections of the external. But we have all these amazing qualities in us, And then when we start practice spiritual life, all these qualities, they start to come up slowly, It cannot be immediately, Prabhupada is saying this also, this example, if someone is full of dirt and then goes into a shower and you come and then, oh, look, he's so much dirty. But he's just taking shower, all the dirt is going down. You should not be like this. So similarly, devotees, they have all these good qualities, because whatever quality you have, it means that it's coming from the soul. It's not coming from the modes of material nature. And this you will develop in next life. They will be never lost. You can just build it up, build it up, build it up. And in this way, like you are saying, if you have this desire, you have already a beautiful voice. It just has to come up. In the spiritual world, it's every step is a dance. Every step is a dance, and every word is a song. So that means everyone is dancing very beautifully. Everyone is singing very beautifully. We have this qualification, but they are now covered. And we just get little glimpses according to our karma. So no worries about this, Just the thing is that you want this sincerity. Krishna, I want to please you, and Krishna doesn't care what kind of voice we have. This is the most important thing to Krishna. That we don't want to show off, we don't want to show false ego. This is what Krishna wants. Many times, instances, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, even when he was leaving his body, he would put some devotee who was completely out of tune, completely out of beat, and he would say, I want him to sing now, because he had this sincerity. He was very pure in his singing. This is what the pure devotees see. This is what Krishna sees, not our material qualifications. But of course, our guru, he will engage our material qualifications. But at the same time, it's our part not to take false ego into this and to take it like a service. You know, you just, okay, I have this talent in this life, so I will use it for Krishna. But I will not identify with it. Like we said, example of Prabhupada. He had so many talents, but he always remained as a servant of Krishna. So, does this make sense?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, that would have been my next question, but you answered it. So technically, in the spiritual world, all of us can dance and sing and cook nicely and so on.
Yeah, you're perfectly happy with your, you know, here we always something missing. You want this, you want, but there, whatever is you have perfect body for this, your desire, you know. And even, you know, kalpa vrikshas, there are anything you want, you just take it and it comes through. Because it's for Krishna, it's not a problem. But here, because it's for us, it's very difficult to get it. But if you want it for Krishna, even in this lifetime, you know, if you want something for Krishna, it can come up very easily, if you are sincere.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Haribol. Yes, Prabhuji.
But if I may, there seem to be exemptions. No? Mozart, for example, he was able to compose his music at the age of 5 already.
Who?
Mozart.
Mozart, yeah. But this is the same, like it's just getting from gunas. Previously, who knows how many, like Prabhupada said, Ravi Shankar, 1,000 lifetimes he was to come to this level that we see him now. He was practicing just heavy sadhana, 1,000 lifetimes. So Mozart also. They were all, if you see even, you know, so much knowledge about music, so it means they were practicing for many lifetimes, and then he had karma to take it through the next life. Because sometimes it's not. It's explained in Vedas, if you don't do the Shraddha rites, your pious activities cannot be transferred to the next life. You get only meager little bit of pious credit. So that's why in Vedic culture it's very important for them, you know, to do Shraddha rites. So sometimes like this, some persons, you know, it's also, anyway, we don't, but it's like this. He can transfer this into this life, and with 5 years he has all this knowledge, talent and everything. But it's not coming from the soul, that's the point. If he misuses it, it will go away. Because it's coming from gunas. He just borrowed for some time, and then they will take it back. That's the point. Yes, Mataji.
Do we still do deity worship even if we don't have an inclination for it?
Well, in somehow, like for instance, in Pancharatrika it's explained that usually, you know, when you're doing Abhishek and all this stuff, devotees, they are fighting, they want to do it, you know. But in Pancharatra it's explained, just by seeing that a pujari is doing this, you get the same benefit as doing arati. So in the morning, as you see pujari is doing it, all of us, we get the same benefit like we did the arati. There is no need, if you don't have inclinations, you know, to do your own puja, but at the same time you should attend Mangala Arati, you should attend all these programs. And then this is considered Guru Puja, Diri Puja. Like this, you get the same benefits. There is no difference, you know. Also, like when it's these festivals and everything, you know, the best is that pujaris, they bathe the deity and things like this, and everyone will get the same benefit. Because sometimes devotees, they're not so clean, you know. Just like, you know, Krishna is merciful, but at the same time, Krishna has some standards, you know, that wants to put us. So, yeah, the point is, if you attend all the program that Prabhupada made for us, you are worshipping deity. This is considered deity worship. You don't have to have your own deity, you know.
Thank you.
Haribol. Okay. What time we should stop? Huh? Okay. Yes, probably.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for your nice explanation of different symptoms and markers of people in different modes of nature performing devotional service. I had one question and one comment. Question was, how much important is to cultivate mood of goodness? Because you gave us this switch, what is it, hack or shortcut, how to move from being a neophyte to being to the next level, I guess, is by Can you repeat that switch again?
By starting whatever you do service, you start, I want to please Krishna.
That's the motive.
This is the motive attitude.
And
You start the right attitude, and then everything will switch. You will not start from, oh, I have this talent, I have this, oh Krishna, I will give you this.
Right.
You know?
And if you have a talent, then you are careful not to use it for your own glorification.
It's just like we are not identifying with the body, material body. So this is subtle body. Skills of material body are subtle body. So we are not identifying with subtle body as well. So it's the same principle.
And then the question is, the mood of goodness we're taught, the mood of goodness is helping us. So how much then that is important in devotee's life to put an effort to be in the mode of goodness?
Yeah, it's very, very important. It's essential, actually. Although it's material mode, but what it makes different is that Shuddha Sattva, what is pure goodness, is that you do the same activities, everything, the form remains the same, just you do it for Krishna. So if we can situate our lifestyle and in cleanliness, in like nice shanti state of mind, then if you can transfer this immediately Shuddha Sattva, there is no difference. So that's why it's very important, because you get external form of pure devotional service just by doing Sattva. That's why you can see Smarta Brahmanas and all this, they are living Sattva Guna lifestyle. And externally it looks completely like, we cannot even follow what they are following, how clean they are, how, after drinking water, after anything, So if they could just make this switch and offer it to Krishna with love, then it's Shuddha Sattva. That's why it's so important.
So that element of pleasing Krishna, that's higher than Sattva. At the same time, the Sattva is very good for us to...
Because somehow you have to express your devotion. You cannot just, Prabhupada is saying, you cannot just, a boy says to a girl, I love you, I love you, I love you. Girls want, you give a flower or do something. So for us, it's an effort to be in Sattva Guna.
Do something practical.
Yeah. And Krishna is the most purest. So that means if you want to have a friendship with someone, you have to have the same qualities. Otherwise, what's the friendship, Either you have to listen to the same music, you have to like the same movies or something. There should be some same, like, how you say, like this. No, good. And then like this, Krishna is the purest. So if you want to be a friend of Krishna, you have to be a pure. Even externally, he's very pure, So like this, we can show our effort, like keeping us clean, keeping our, lifestyle very nice and sattvic. And then in this way, we are not touched so much, what is the most important, by Tamaguna and Rajaguna. We are protected.
Right, and that spreads in different areas. How we treat others can be
everything.
In tamas and rajas, and how we eat and so on.
Because gunas are consciousness. So if you have your clothes clean, that means you will have clean relationship, pure relationship with other devotees. It spreads all because it's consciousness. It's not.
Can be one area clean and another.
Of course, no. This is like each and every one. In some particular parts of our spiritual life, we are very surrendered, and others we are struggling. This is normal. This is
okay. I thought it's me alone.
This is not like black or white.
And the comment I just wanted to add to addition, you brought up this point that in spiritual world, in that spiritual form, there's ample opportunity to express your devotion and love. And I just recently read that not only you can have one form, you can have more than one. If you want to do some specific service in some specific place with Krishna, you can take more forms than just one. So there is really unlimited variety to express your service to Krishna.
Yeah, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's even saying, for us who are worshipping Lord Chaitanya and Krishna, that some of us, we go simultaneously in two pastimes. Simultaneously. So, let's see what will happen. Jai. Someone has something more to say? Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Prahlad Nishingadev ki, Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande.